Oh my God, you guys, come in, sit down, and shut the door. Remember that lawsuit that Misa Hilton Brim filed against Mary J. Blige, saying she wants $5 million because her struggle rap boyfriend, Misa's, not Mary's, her struggle rap boyfriend was denied a contract and they tried to shut her down? Yeah, I know Misa regrets ever opening her mouth to say a word against Mary. Because, baby, Mary J. Blige just said checkmate and moved this lawsuit to a special court. But more importantly, there is a blind item floating around that says a lot. Let's get into this, right? So here's the blind item. There's a certain stylist termed Myrtle X who thought she could pull an old school intimidation move against the Grammy Queen, only to find out the game has changed. Now, I first heard that. I said, that sounds like Mary and Misa to me. Look at this. Which hip hop ex tried to channel her old baby daddy's bully tactics, only to end up embarrassing herself in court and blowing up her relationship in the process? Let's just say the queen she went after isn't the same woman she was 10 years ago, and the empire that once protected her is crumbling from within. You guys, let's get into this because Mary J. Blige is arguing that the lawsuit meets the criteria to be transferred. They're saying the legal feud, then this is the official report, right? The legal feud between Mary and Misa is intensifying, with Mary now seeking to shift a multi-million-dollar lawsuit against her into a more specialized court. According to All Hip Hop, Mary and her company, Beautiful Life Productions, are formally requesting that Misa's $5 million lawsuit filed by Misa and Vado be moved to New York Supreme Court's Commercial Division. Okay? Now, if you guys don't know, they made a bunch of stuff. They said that Mary interfered with the contractual thing between her, Misa and Vado. Misa and Vado are dating. But she interfered with the contractual thing by trying to get her pushed off as manager. Mary was like, okay, first of all, you're not even licensed to be a manager or an agent or to have an entertainment company in New York. So this is really a moot point. And you were engaged in illegal activity. Guards put her in the cell next to Diddy. But more importantly, let me go over what this meant, because I talked to a lawyer and I was like, yo, why is everybody acting like this is such a big legal move? Because they said this is why the legal move matters. They said, Tisa, first of all, you have to realize it's different court and different rules. The commercial division is designed for complex, high-stakes business lawsuits, offering faster processing and judges with specialized expertise. If the case is moved there, Mary's team will likely have opportunities for 1, expedited handling, and a lot of legal mechanisms like summary judgments, which may give her a strategic edge. But more importantly, they're like, listen, this looks like Mary is reframing this as business, not personal. By emphasizing a contractual and financial element, Mary's team is downplaying emotional or personal elements, like claims of emotional distress or betrayal, because in the corporate division, they don't look at that as heavy. They're like, are you serious, girl? This is stand up. This is business. Basically, they said Mary is essentially reframing this as a legal dispute, not a personal vendetta. Now, she can also more easily file motions to dismiss and sanction. And they said this actually may be Mary's goal, because it seems like as much as Misa thought she was going to walk in, and again, this is what people are assuming, and get Mary, if she sues her for $5 million, Mary got money, maybe she can make a quick $1 million or $2 million, and her and Vado can split that up and go, I don't know, right? They're saying that this puts Mary in the place where she's going to be asking for lawyer fees and maybe even sanctions to bring a frivolous lawsuit. Why? Why would it be frivolous? If you're not licensed to be an agent or have an entertainment company, then you legally weren't operating. You cannot come to the court with unclean hands. Meaning, if I hire you to do a hit on someone and then you just take my money and you bounce, I cannot sue you for not putting the hit out on someone, because unclean hands. The court will not enforce illegal activity, whether it be criminally illegal or whether it be civilly illegal. Operating a management company or even being an agent without being licensed, I believe in New York State, I believe they're not going to enforce that, because what deal? You shouldn't even been anybody's manager or whatnot, right? But again, they said so Mary made a request to transfer the court, but her attorneys labeled the lawsuit as patently frivolous, aiming not just to dismiss it, but also impose sanctions on Misa and her lawyer for pursuing what they view as a meritless claim. And they're also saying that Mary is saying that this is high stakes legally, but also symbolically. Moving to a specialized court and seeking sanctions show that Mary's legal team is taking this very seriously and wants to control both the timeline and the narrative. And it's about protecting her professional reputation and avoiding unnecessary delays and a public spectacle. Now, get this, right? Here's what a lot of people are saying, and this is coming straight from the legal minds. They're saying that for Misa, this was a miscalculation. Misa reportedly sabotaged her own 10-year relationship with Mary J. Blige by trying to weaponize her relationship with Vado against Mary. People are saying that it looks like this might have kind of been a Diddy shakedown. And don't get me wrong, I do believe that even though Misa and Diddy, I don't know how close they were, okay? I'm just speculating from what I see from the outside in. But it does seem that everybody in Diddy's circle was operating under the fact that if you pushed them too far, Diddy might step in with the shenanigans. With Diddy in jail and the feds watching and him literally fighting for his life and hoping he can just get out with time served, he does not have time to operate personal vendettas against other people. You see what I'm saying? They said that Misa assumed Mary was still vulnerable, the same heartbroken girl she might have been over a decade ago, okay? But instead of bowing to pressure, Mary has turned the tables. They said this signals a power shift. Mary's legal move, pushing the case into the commercial division, reframes everything as just business, stripping away every personal drama. And they're saying this isn't gossip games anymore. This is straight up corporate. By seeking sanction, Mary shows she's not just defending herself, she's punishing Misa's attempt to get a penny from her, and also sending a message to anybody else that might dare try. But here's the thing, and this is from the Diddy factor, okay? This isn't, in my mind, so much about Mary and Misa. I mean, it is, but it isn't. But I do think that this is something about like basically the death of the Diddy playbook. It shows how much Diddy's power, and by power, even those associated with them that follow that playbook, how much it's fallen, right? For years, Diddy traded in intimidation, right? Backroom leveraging, and a shadow of being connected to the empire. Diddy's empire actually worked. But now with Mary hitting back hard, they are saying that era is over, okay? Because Diddy can't even protect himself right now. So how's it gonna protect you? And what the hell, what's gonna happen? You gonna send Stevie's J to my house? You're literally, what's gonna happen, okay? So the fallout. Well, some people say that Misa looks like she's clinging to the ghost of power that she doesn't have anymore by bringing up claims that Mary's lawyer hasn't proven in court, but is saying is visibly false, right? And instead of leveraging any influence that came with Diddy, it seems like she's showing how little of it remains, you know? And again, Mary's not only just stronger symbolically, she's stronger financially, she's stronger mentally, and it seems like she is moving past this. In any case, whatever's going on, we will actually see in court. But Mary has just literally done a checkmate on Misa. We're waiting for Misa's attorneys to respond, but Misa thought she was going to walk away with a couple of $1 million bag, and it looks like she might actually end up paying sanctions to Mary and attorney's fees for all this mess that's going on. Anyway, you guys, let me know what you think in the comments. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.